It's Uncharted Territory, folks. Yay! It's the mellow area for rambling round the gaming world. I'm your host, Baron Marf, and I'm joined, as always, by the womble that is the Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
That just makes me sound somewhat sinister. I scour around the Wimbledon Common for various detritus of society.
Yes, but think of all the positive things you do with it. Like, for example, this podcast.
True, very true.
So, whilst we were wombling around this week, we thought we'd have a little look at Prey. So it's just come out, just been announced, and there's been lots going on. It's just whipped up a little whirlpool of
well, I think Bethesda have kind of shot themselves in the foot with their review policy, in the sense that they don't give out review codes until the day before release. So you've basically got a night to get a review done for a potentially 40-hour, 50-hour game and get it written up and posted all before 9 o'clock, basically, before business hours open.
Yeah, I mean, this is their policy to either A, stop their shit games getting shit reviews before they've sold them, or
their PR line.
Yeah.
So streamers and the variety of people in the game industry, obviously journalism or critiquing, they all get a fair shot.
Terrific.
Well, they all did before. It's called a review embargo, which you're given a code 2 weeks before, and you're allowed 2 weeks to play it, but you're not allowed to tell anyone about it until the day of release.
Yeah, but people hate embargoes as well, but at least you're right, they can do the pre-work and get it all ready.
You know you're actually getting a good review then. At least they've had some time. Fuck me. Atlas with Persona. Sorry to go off topic, as we want to do on here. This is obviously the first off course of the day. They 2 months for Persona 5 because they realised this is like potentially a 200-hour game for people. Don't rush it. Enjoy it. Get a good impression of it and get the right impression.
They're quaffing their wine, yeah.
Exactly.
But fair play to them.
2 months. Fuck me, that's a long fucking time.
If it makes you feel any better, what they've done and what Bethesda have done in this instance is they've banged it out the door. Right, there it is. She's good to go. People have then played it on the PC and found she's not good to go because there's a game-breaking bug.
There wasn't there? They were quick to knock out a patch.
They've patched it now, but the point is...
This is no Arkham Knight debacle.
But let's just get this clear. They held it back to say it always comes out like 20... You get the code 24 hours before we release it. And then those people had to rush a review out because of what they did. Then went, this game's broken and faulty, so here's your review score. And then everybody bitched and moaned because after they patched it, went, but that's not reflective of the game now. It's like, well, you should have given us a chance to review it beforehand, or maybe got your game right.
Well, I've seen a lot of people that have reviewed it, and when they first played it, when they were constricted on time, they were like, their opinion changed when they actually just got to sit down with it and play it. Like they said, you turn the minimap marker off and your objective markers and you just go looking around and finding stuff, it's a brilliant game. It's unbelievable. It's just so quirky and there's so much to find and do. Yeah,
as long as you're not enamoured by like graphics and shit like that.
But again, that's console. But we, as console gamers, we should be used to that. Like, everything's built on PCs. The PC's going to get bleeding edge graphics.
Still looks ugly on the PC though. I mean, it runs fine, but it still, you look at character faces and you're just like, we're back to Marigold fist fucking again, aren't we?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really place too much emphasis on that shit. It's good enough. I was within I think 5 years after the HD era started in gaming, I finally got a HD TV. So graphics, yeah. The fact that it looks a bit ropey. I played a fucking PlayStation 3 with a ropey old CRTV. There's
many things that we can tolerate in life, Link, but not many that we should.
No, but we do have to, though. We are somewhat forced.
So, it's buggy. Right, it's buggy, and some people have bitched and moaned a little bit about gameplay and how long it takes you or how long it doesn't take you to play this game. And it's because it's basically built in a BioShock way, isn't it, where there's lots of little things that you should be looking at and checking out and enjoying the sort of the down in the weeds of the storyline.
Well, it's somewhat of you could say there is the core game that you've got to play to finish it. But then there's obviously the rabbit hole that you can go down, and you can explore the backstory and the lore, and you can find a bit more about the game and the world building side of it. So yeah, there is, like you say, we was looking at the IGN review, and when they finally looked at how much they clocked up, it was close to 40 hours.
Yeah, that's right. But and also all the time whilst going to look at all this background and lore and getting scared shitless by things metamorphosizing out of a book into a face-hugging black little crawly thing.
Yeah, that's the thing that just draws me away from it. It's just like, I can deal with aliens and stuff, but it's the fact I've got to worry about everything, literally everything. Oh, there's a physical object there. Shoot it.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a game of going into a room. It's basically, they've just made a sci-fi version of Black.
Yeah, pretty much.
So just go in and it's just like, because you know that game is like, I know I've got people to kill, but let's shoot everything to see how good it looks, all exploding. And you would just go in there with a machine gun, just watching bits of wall fucking crumble everywhere and boxes blowing up.
It's the way to go.
So I think it would just turn into that.
But for all of their playing for 40 hours, other people have came through it a tad quicker.
Yeah. Within 3 days of launch, a YouTuber or streamer, Twitch streamer, beat it in under 20 minutes. 19 minutes 34 to be precise.
It was a mild improvement on his previous attempt, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, he'd smashed his previous record by a whopping 24 minutes.
Good.
24 minutes 26 to be precise.
So do you reckon that demoralises the team at all?
I don't know. It's I can imagine though, because you've got, well, obviously tens of thousands of man hours done in 1200 seconds, or less than 1200 seconds cleared.
I mean, you'd struggle to cook a good meal in that period of time.
I don't know. I could probably bang it a risotto. That's not bad.
Yeah, but I mean, as in like, you know.
But there is plenty of things that it takes longer to do. Like putting up a shelf would take you longer to than complete.
Well, I don't know, Link. I can bang out a shelf pretty quick.
No, it doesn't involve a phone call to phone someone and say, "Can you come up a shelf?" That doesn't count.
Put on the shelf now.
Yeah, but you know, there's lots of things that I've thought of very well. I was trying to think of some, and we were like, "Nah, we'll just name some on there." And do you know, I can't think of other than I've had longer shits. That was pretty much the only one I can think of.
Yeah, good. I mean, so I guess there isn't really anything. So I guess it's a reasonable period of time, but I mean, I look at it like this: like you could be on your lunch break, mac out that game, like how many 4 years of development, or however long or 2 years, or however long they're making it for, just be like
half a lunch break.
Yeah. I only get a half an hour, so I can only fit one playthrough in.
But it is, isn't it? It's a sandwich and beat prey.
Yeah,
nice. That's not bad.
It's not bad lunch actually.
But I suppose then we should move on to the next one, which is from one extreme to the next, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So I mean,
I suppose you could call this a speed run.
Yes, you could. Just the measurement of time is slightly extended.
Yeah.
So there are some hardcore Pokemon fans out there.
I mean, yeah. Ever since it released all of those many moons ago, people have gone wild for it. It's still as popular as it was back then, really.
So I never played it, but there's also plenty of other games back in the day then which I did play that I'm still not playing now.
Yeah.
So this had to be pretty special because Pokemon Ruby has got a special follower, hasn't it?
Yes, gentleman by the name of Leomon.
Alright.
So he decided, obviously he enjoyed his Pokemon Ruby, he wanted a new challenge. So he thought to himself, I know, I'm going to try and beat the game with the shittest Pokemon on the game, which I'm assuming is the Magikarp, because that's which he picked. So back in 2011, he started streaming this journey, and as of the 5th of May this year, it culminated after a grueling 5.5 years. So yeah, he actually completed the game and beat all of the trainers and islands and gyms. I don't know what you got to do on Pokemon. I just know you have to collect Pokemon. But
with a Magikarp.
With a Magikarp.
Wow. So
I mean, it's a solid effort.
So when Pokemon Go came out, we were doing a bit of content on it, and it was a bloody good excuse for me to look into this thing that I'd never experienced before. So I also looked into some of the original cartoons, and in there there was the Magikarp, and they basically made reference to it being the baitest Pokemon out there. Now, there's going to be Pokemon fans out there right now that's going, well, obviously, but we didn't really know a great deal about that. But yeah, so this is like the biggest girl's blouse of Pokemon, and this guy rinsed the whole game with it.
Yeah. That's
pretty impressive stuff. I mean, that's commitment. I mean, don't know really what you're doing with your life, dude. Reevaluation time?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't ever play another Pokemon game?
Well, hopefully he's not committed too many hours to it, and there's some more fulfilling adventures in his life.
Yeah, I mean, think of all the things that you could do, like create things for the good of mankind.
5.5 years he could have made Prey.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. Or he could have created a way to stop Nintendo rinsing you for every penny you've got. I.e. Amiibos.
Yes, and speaking of Amiibos, it brings us wonderfully to our next point.
How convenient.
It's almost like it was written. Real Amiibos, quite hard to find. Some of them are ridiculously difficult to find, to the point that they come in stock and within half an hour they're out of stock again.
Mm-hmm.
So, some people have used their noodle and thought, do you know what, I don't really give a shit about the Amiibo. I just want the stuff that buying that Amiibo gives me in this game.
Sure.
So, they have started making their own. They've obviously acquired the materials, which will be an NFC tag, which you can probably buy off of eBay or even Amazon for a blank one. They find the right code.
You got it.
And they install the code on the NFC chip. Stick that onto a card. You've got yourself an Amiibo.
Bob's your uncle, Fanny is your aunt, and they've been doing exactly that and been living the dream. So I thought, right, I'll have a very quick look at this just to see what I completely disapprove of course. And some of these cards are pretty cool. They look really nicely done.
They do look like, it reminds me of old telephone cards. Like you used to, again, this will probably be over anybody who's young.
My God, you're old.
Anyone who's considered a millennial will probably not know what the fuck a telephone card is.
Do you know what? In the previous century.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. It's now getting to the point where you can talk decades when it was a previous century.
Yeah. In the previous century, we didn't really use the internet a great deal. We didn't have mobile phones. Anyway, we digress.
Yeah. But no, they did look really smart. And people have obviously thought this, and they thought, I'll stick them on eBay or some other third-party seller.
Right on.
Started selling them for some pretty good sums of moolah.
Nintendo's going to break out the banhammer so quickly on this.
Yeah. I think it would be a case of, like most things with the internet now, it would become a hydra, and you'll chop off one head, and because it's essentially it's a YouTube video to do it.
Well, that's where there's one of two ways to deal with piracy, isn't there? It's attack it head on, throw loads of money at it, or completely ignore it and just keep ramming your brand down people's throats.
Yeah.
And
just accept that it's a part that there's going to be people. You can't use the excuse of lost sales because they were never going to buy it in the first place.
Exactly. And how much money is thrown into R&D on stopping piracy, like trying to make
ridiculous
some unique server signing code for every interaction. Look how onerous your console becomes because of it.
Look at Diono, or whatever it is that does. They pretty much had for the last 2 years, if they've been using their system, it's been pretty much uncrackable on PC. To the point that even some of the most prominent hacker groups were like, do you know what? I don't know if I could be fucked anymore. This is a pain in the arse.
No,
I think they might have won. What do you reckon, guys? Have they won? And they're like, yeah, we think they might have.
Someone will hack it.
And yeah, but some of that is hacked and other bits. But I think it's only on certain titles. But anyway, that's digressing. But no, apparently it's very easy to do and probably pretty cheap, because what's a blank NFC tag going to cost you?
Not a lot.
You could probably, if you've got an old mobile phone that's...
Just, right, how long? Because I'm going to give it about 3 years before Nintendo basically legally strong-armed everybody off of their turf and is then banging out cards because they're cheaper to make than Amiibos and
they already do make cards.
Oh,
they have been since sort of pretty much the 3DS.
What, NFC cards?
Yeah,
great.
Like Animal Crossing ones and stuff. Yeah, since the 3DS could do Amiibos.
Great work, Nintendo.
Yeah, there was cards, because it would be a pain in the ass to have to carry around all the characters in the little figures. So, but cards, they can fit in your wallet. So yeah, but it's one of those things that, whilst we do not obviously approve or
condone in any way.
What would be copyright infringement, trademark infringement, software piracy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a multitude of felonies and other various legal issues that you'd face
if you were to go out and use these really cool cards.
Yeah, really easy to make and easy to find videos on YouTube of how to do said cards.
Yeah, because those people are out there making those videos and showing you the listener, you guys how to do it.
With a PC that you've used to watch this YouTube video, you can make your own amiibos.
But I don't encourage you doing it.
No, we don't at all.
So talking about because Nintendo need to get paid.
Yeah.
Segue. Oh come on, that was smooth.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's straightforward. Payday 2.
But talking about potential litigation.
Yeah.
We moved from one.
Well, talking about profit.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, lost money, lost revenues.
Yeah, Payday 2 DLC.
Well, which is always a contentious issue for certain former members of said Overkill team.
Yeah, it don't work there anymore. Because they made a statement that we don't sell DLC. But anyway, so once again, Payday 2. So the people who've got no more than Amiga 50 plus add-ons for their game.
Which, 3 months after the release of the game, the original executive producer and director or whatever, the heads of the company turned around and said, we'll never release stupid DLC packs that are pointless and all of that. We don't believe in it. We'll only ever do content that's worthwhile. And I think it was 2 weeks later or a month later, they were kindly shown the door with a box of their possessions.
They left, weirdly. Fine. They were left, and nobody really knows why. But happily for investors, they'll know that Payday 2 does sell DLC.
Does offer a payday.
That's right. But this time, they're not going to actually glaive any of that money, are they? They're giving it away. No.
Yeah, so Overkill, obviously the studio that we're talking about, they're donating the DLC profits, all of the sale money from this pack of DLC to a pair of prominent YouTubers that are currently fighting litigation for a copyright infringement case.
So this is really weird because this actually started pre-April sort of time, and then and basically the
case. I think the case has been going on for about 6 or 7 months or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's Overkill's involvement. And what they did was for April Fool's Day, they basically did hey, we're going to release some DLC with these 2 YouTubers in it. And everyone was like, ha ha ha, very funny, that's cool, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And now they're doing it, they're making it happen. So they're putting these 2 YouTubers as paid DLC for $5 or something like that.
$4.99 it was up for. Yeah, so it's a twin character pack.
Yeah.
Obviously it features the 2 YouTubers. I'm supposed to go into a bit of background on it. They're currently involved in a copyright infringement case against some guy. They He Productions or H3H3 Productions, which is the defendants.
Mm-hmm.
They make reaction videos. They see a video that they want to take the piss out of on YouTube and react to it and critique it with comedy, pointing out some of the absurdness of it all and the buffoonery of some of these people. Now, they've been doing this for some time.
Yeah.
And like most people that are reasonable, have got brains, and they know what they're talking about, or at least can learn some more things. They've looked at them and thought, that's their opinion, just made it funny, that's taking a piss out of me, but it's the internet, what can you do?
Yep.
And they've left it at that. But one gentleman didn't think he took offence to their use of his video.
Yeah.
So he's obviously taken them to court in the state of New York on the grounds of copyright infringement, that obviously they're claiming fair use on the video because they're critiquing it, and they're actually, the bits that they're showing is they're taking the piss out of what critiquing.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't feel that it is a just case. So I mean, some of the language, I mean, it's legal bollocks. So
legal beagles doing their thing.
Yeah, it's, unless you've obviously had some lawyering training.
Unless you're very learned in the, I think it's learned. That was learned. Learned in the whole legal thing, then you ain't gonna really understand a lot of this.
It's like you say, a mess of legal terms and writing things in a certain way. But
quote Homer, it's learned, Peppy. It's pronounced learned.
But it's somewhat of a strange case because the gentleman, it seems, has actually benefited from said copyright infringement, unlike most copyright infringement cases where the main problem is if you've usurped the market. So you've basically you've told some shit about someone, used their videos to highlight this said shit, and then you've said, oh, but I sell the same thing and I do the same thing when you come over to my show.
Yeah.
So they've not done that. He's actually benefited from them critiquing his video because they've obviously said some things about him, because I thought it might have been a defamation case at first, but it wasn't.
No.
So yeah, they've highlighted his work and people have gone out and said, no, it can't be that bad, really? Surely not. Fuck, it is.
Yeah. But that's what's upsetting.
But the guy's profited from it.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I can't see. I want to see the final verdict and see how this pans out. But no, I think it's really top work from Overkill, because obviously they're fans of the pair.
Yeah, and I'd like to give me a little pat on the back as well and just say, guys, so much for your principles not selling DLC, but even if it is going to a good cause, and I should say, it's at least that pittance of money that you're charging for that DLC, at least that's going to a good cause.
Yes. Yeah. So $4.99, $4.99, of which they'll receive 0%.
This is Overkill will receive 0%.
So I mean, what's your final sort of real summarisation of that? Because you've got Payday 2, haven't you?
Yeah. There's literally nothing that Overkill will ever be able to do to back away from the fact they stood out in the limelight and said, we're not going to do paid DLC, and then immediately dropped their pants and went, give it to me, baby. I
just think of some Uncle Phil-esque Fresh Prince Jazzy Jeff moment where there's Stieg or whatever his name is and fucking old Mark just vroom, out you go, and then just the box of possessions that were on their desk comes flinging over, and just the frame of the children scatters across the pavement as someone steps on it.
Exactly how I see it going.
Yeah,
cool. What about you? Any final thoughts?
I mean, if I owned Payday 2, I'd be tempted to buy it, just knowing that Overkill don't get a cut. I mean, I feel bad for the developers and the studio people, and it's the businessmen, the people that said, no, let's do DLC, let us pull their pants down. Yeah.
So I mean, on that, the only thing I would say is, look, I'm glad that if I spent money on this, that Overkill wouldn't get the money.
It'd be going for a good cause.
No, but I also don't give a flying monkey's nuts about their legal battle. Their problem that they got themselves in that situation. You can suck my balls, I'm keeping my money myself. That's my view on it. That's my thoughts. And there we are, guys, on another enlightened and deep and philosophical thought from myself there. That is wrapping.
Christian. That's what I was thinking.
That's wrapping our Uncharted for another week. So I guess, as always, I'll put over to you, Link. From yourself, it's...
check out the social media below.
Yeah, hit that shit. From me, it's adios, and from Link, it's...
out.
Peace.